I am an autoandrophile. My sexuality is autoandrophilia, which means I'm attracted to the desire to be a man, which sounds really strange and roundabout, but essentially it means that I'm attracted to men and also I want to be one sometimes, in different ways to various degrees. That changes for me. Freud was right. From my perspective, as an autoandrophile, I don't want to speak for everyone who's autoandrophilic, but I remember having, just like a casual conversation in between classes with one of my friends in my sophomore year of high school or whatever. I remember asking, and we were talking about the concept of penis envy, obviously, is what I'm referencing here, mostly. We were talking about that, and, because we were both taking it was an AP psychology class, and, I remember asking her, I kind of appreciate that you talked about that or something, it's interesting, and then I remember, either I asked her if she kind of experienced that, or she brought it up because I was maybe hinting that I experienced it or showed fascination in the theory. And so she definitely said, she was like, well, I don't experience that. And I distinctly remember that. And I don't, my memory is not, it's not being tainted by anything. Because I just want to put that out there. Sometimes memories can be sort of tainted if you want to believe something or not, but mine is not, because I don't feel the need to have to validate myself and have to validate my identity, because I know now that I don't have to do anything to experience what I experience. It's just my experience. I don't have to do anything in that. Even before I knew about autoandrophilia and took it as part of my identity more, there were even some standards of gender fluidity that I was almost like I needed to do more. I needed to do something to be gender fluid, which is completely backwards from what the queer community, the reason why these labels exist is to kind of meet everyone where they're at. But I think that for a lot of queer people it gets mixed up, and somehow we end up feeling like we're not enough for this label, which might sound kind of childish, but it's what a lot of people experience. So anyways, so we were talking about penis envy. My friend was like, yeah, well, I don't experience that. And then I probably said something like, well, I think I do. I probably did, because I've never really, and I think, I'm probably unlucky to be in environments where I don't feel threatened for, having queer feelings inside of me, right? But I've never been a person who was really afraid of just saying whatever I'm thinking. And yeah, sure, if it's something intensely personal that's of a sexual nature, or of this an autoandrophilic nature that feels really personal. So I do feel anxiety when sharing about things like this, but with people, offline. But I never feel like I'm going to be attacked or threatened, or I don't know, I have this innate will to just express totally authentically what I'm thinking and feeling. I am an anxious person, but I'm grateful that that desire in me is so, like, innate and strong and just, like, a part of my entire, like, personality that often I can express what I want to express. Even if I'm a little bit anxious, I sometimes get annoyed when I see other people aren't like that. You know, they hold back from saying things, from saying really raw, authentic things. I can get into these mindsets where, in therapy, I'm working on this right now, but I can get into these mindsets where I kind of majorly judge people, around me from maybe just like even their appearance, stupid things like that for, well, I bet they're not as real as me because they don't like express themselves in the same way that I want to express myself, which is, intensely, authentically. It's all just like naturally a part of who I am, of myself, and my different selves. I'm working on that, so it's frustrating because it makes me feel like a loner in that sense. Maybe other neurodivergent people can relate, but, I've gone on rambling long enough. There's different ideas about Freud, right? Allegedly, or maybe not allegedly, I'm not doing research, I'm just going off the top of my head, okay? So, I heard that he was doing like heavy drugs at the time of his research and stuff. I heard that he kind of a misogynist. I heard that the women who said had penis envy were just like super repressed sexually, so, that makes it not real, because that makes sense. But what if Freud was onto something? What if he was onto the paraphilias that are autoandrophilia and autogynephilia? What if he was observing those in some way, shape, or form? What if they were present to some degree in his clients? I think it's interesting to think about that because it kind of makes me, like, smile a little bit and chuckle. I'm like, if there's one word I could use to describe my autoandrophilia, or, okay, 2 words, if there were 2 words I could use to describe, it would be Freud's penis envy. That's just the summary. It's perfect. Like, it's literally, I'm not joking right now. Like, literal penis envy. Like, male genital focused jealousy. Okay. And it's always been there. Always. Ever since I was a kid. Okay. Probably the biological predisposition that I had maybe for some reason, and some environmental things that made it happen more, or like continue past childhood. I don't know. I'm not sure if the penis envy I displayed in my childhood games, imaginary games, as a kid, I'm not sure if that's like a normal, quote unquote, like normal, like heterosexual girl, like thing, like kid thing. Like, do kids like pretending they have the other sex's genitals when they play games? Is that like the central plot of the characters they are acting as? Is that like the central plot for those characters? Is that a common thing in kids other than me, who aren't also auto heterosexual? Like, I don't know. Honestly, that sounds like it'd be a fun study to have. Specifically, like, childhood imaginary play. Childhood imaginary games. Play pretend. I think that would be a really, like, interesting and big tell of autoandrophilia and autogynephilia. I don't know. I might just think of that and try and ask people, like, hey, did you do this? So Freud, great guy. Just kidding, he's not. But I want to watch the new movie all sort of new-ish movie of like Freud and C.S. Lewis interview or something. I want to watch it. I think it's called Freud's Last Session. Yeah. If they're discussing autoandrophilia, then I'm gonna watch it. But I don't know. I don't know what to say because literally my autoandrophilia can be summed up as penis envy. Like, obviously it's complex. It's like a sexual orientation and all that, but literally it can be summed up in what Freud said. And I don't know if that's, I almost said neurotypical. I don't think it is. I don't know if it's heterotypical. If that's not a word, it is now. I'm gonna use that word. Heterotypical. Heterodivergent. We auto-heterosexuals should call ourselves heterodivergent. That would be, we should do that. I'm gonna go ahead and end it off here. 'Cause I have to go take my dog out. Thank you for watching, listening, or whatever. But yeah, long live Freudian theory. 'Cause he's right. So.